So I've been having some issues with this university that I graduated from, and I want to share this because from my own research, I see that a lot of people are dealing with issues from this specific university. I see that there's a lot of feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot of not knowing what to do next. I'm still going through the process of it, and just to see how many other students have dealt with this from this particular university, it makes me want to speak up on it. Like, it's not something that I'm just going to sit back and be like, okay, I'm going to keep this to myself. I want people to be aware that this is going on so that they can move accordingly while they're still in school with this particular university. And also for people who are even considering it, that they should be aware of this because it's just not right. It should not be happening and they need to be held accountable. So I became a student of Capella University back in 2022. So I found their program online back in 2022, filled out the form. The same day I filled out the form, I got a call from a lead enrollment specialist. So he gave me a call that exact same day, not long after I submitted the form. And that same day, we went through like everything. We went through the application together, like step by step. I mean, we was on the phone for hours getting this stuff situated, like getting me enrolled. So the way he sold this whole thing to me was, number one, I had already gotten a associate's degree and I had also already taken previous college courses. He was saying because it was an associate's degree, they were familiar with the college that I attended, that I got the associate's degree from, and he combined that with the fact that with the specific degree that I was going to, which was going to be general psychology, which I ended up changing later, but we'll get to that. So I was going for general psychology. He said there's a number of classes that we know for sure that students are able to take with the Sophia learning, platform or whatever, and that we don't have to pay that extra charge like per class because each class is like $2,000, so a little over $2,000. So with the Sophia learning, you don't have to pay that much for each of those particular classes. So he added that part into the fact that I had the transfer credits. The third part was a $15,000 scholarship. Now, when he sold this to me, it was presented as though this scholarship was only for this specific enrollment season, this specific enrollment term. So the form that I had to fill out for the scholarship was part of my enrollment process. And so after I got off the phone with him, the lead enrollment specialist that was with me through the whole enrollment process, he sent me an email. He also had laid the steps out for what I needed to do to really kickstart the enrollment process. And that form that I needed to fill out for the scholarship was step 2 of this application enrollment process. So I did all of that, and I consistently have like email conversation between me and him. I keep everything. So after I done start the program, I talked with 2 advisors. One of them, I ended up having to like reach back out because I think the call disconnected on with the first one. It was actually a chat with the first one, and then the chat was disconnected, so I ended up having to reach back out and talk to somebody else. Now, these academic advisors were encouraging me to do a program change. They now offer um, a bachelor's degree in psychology, pre-counseling, and therapy. That is what I was going to do my program change for. But I wanted to reach back out to the enrollment specialist that helped me throughout my whole enrollment process. Because since he had already helped me set everything up, I wanted to make sure that this was not going to affect anything. So I reached back out to him via email, still have the whole email thread. I mentioned to him about the advisors encouraging me to do this program change. It was not going to affect me in any way. So I said he can go ahead and go through with it because it was sold to me that this was the best route for me to take based on my future goals. And I do believe that still. So now with all of this, everything seems good. With the psychology, pre-counseling, and therapy degree, it's a bridge program. Now, I was not aware that the master courses was going to cost so much more money. Like, we had to take, I think it's 3 master courses you have to take at the end of your degree in order to complete this specific program. But I was not aware that it was going to cost that much. But still, even if it was going to cost that much, I still was supposed to be covered based on how everything was supposed to be situated. It wasn't going to necessarily affect me in a way that I wasn't going to be able to afford the degree. Okay, but fast forward, things started to get a little rocky when it comes to financial aid. I was looking like, what is going on here? Because I started to pay attention to something weird's going on here. Like, it's movement of money that I can't really understand. I'm still trying to focus on my degree, and I'm thinking like the financial aid part should already be situated. And so I was a little bit confused, but I didn't bother with it too much. I was like, I'm trying to finish. Let me just finish this and I'll worry about the rest of that stuff later, because I was getting closer and closer to the end. Now, y'all, I had 4 more classes to take. suddenly like I can't take no more classes because now Capella is saying that I owe them money. So I take a step back. I'm so confused at this point. But then all of a sudden, money gets deposited into my student account from the financial aid department, and it covers what it needs to cover in order for me to start back with my classes. I didn't question it too much because, listen, in my mind, I'm trying to finish. I will worry about the other stuff later. I'm paying attention to it, I'm taking note of it, but I'm putting it on the back burner. So I successfully completed my degree. Now, I very intentionally ignored the financial aid aspect. I did not make any fuss about it until after I finished. When I finished my degree, that is when I reached out to the financial aid department. I specifically asked them for a full billing ledger. I want to see every movement of funds related to my account. I want to see everything. So I was told how I can pull that up. I pulled that up. Immediately I'm investigating like what the billing ledger. I'd never seen anything so messy. I'm like, what in the world is this? This billing ledger, first of all, the billing ledger said that I had dropped 10 courses. So that already ticked me off because I knew that I had not dropped not one class with Capella. And when I looked at my transcript, there was no dropped course on my transcript. I was only required to take 78 credits because I was able to transfer 102 credits from my associate's degree and some other college credits that I had. So I was only required to do 78 more credits in order to fulfill my bachelor's degree because I needed a total of 180 credits. So my transcript clearly showed that out of the 78 credits that I attempted, I completed each and every one of them. I had not dropped one class in Capella, but on that billing ledger, it showed that I dropped 10 classes, which I found to be so weird. That was the first thing that stood out to me because it was at the top of the paper. So the next section of this billing ledger shows what Capella has charged me. Now, let me pull this up real quick. Capella said that I was charged. Hold up 1 second. Okay, so Capella said that I have a total charges of $45,346. Okay, when I saw that, my mind is like, whoa, what? And so then keep on scrolling, and they said that I had already paid $42,503. But they was claiming that I still owe, let me go to that exact amount 1 second. So they were telling me that I owed them $2,843. Now, I went back and forth with the financial aid department a little bit twice. We went back and forth. So, in response to my initial complaint to the financial aid department, I was getting these things in email because I like to have written proof. And so the financial aid advisor, he responded to me by basically trying to be very dismissive, acting like everything is right on my billing ledger, like there's no problems here, basically trying to shut me down. So I pushed back. No, sir, we're not going to do that. I can get into a situation not knowing what I'm talking about, not know what I'm doing. But once I have a concern about something, once I feel like something is off, and then I see just a glimpse of what it is, I'm going to dig into that thing. And you may think this girl didn't know what she was talking about, but don't underestimate me because I know how to do my own research and I know how to get understanding. And so that's exactly what I was doing. So I took that billing ledger and I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. Y'all need to give me a full, like a simplified breakdown. Okay, I took 15 classes. I want to know exactly what y'all charged me because how in the world did we get to $45,000? I want to see exactly every charge. Give me a simple breakdown of what every charge was that I was given, that I was charged. So because they took 7 days to respond to me, I reached out to, what is the name of that department? Oh my gosh, let me see really quick. I know it's OACS. I want the full name so I can give it to y'all. Okay, so it's the Office of Academic and Community Standards. So I reached out to them. It's OACS at capella.edu. So I reached out to them. I sent them everything. When I tell you I got it organized, I have a folder specifically for Capella. So the day after I sent the complaint to OACS, the financial aid department reached out to me, sending me that billing ledger. So remember I said that I requested that they send me a simple breakdown of everything that they charged me. Okay, so they sent me that. Now the weird thing is, listen, their billing thing is so weird. It's so sloppy. So when I looked at the simplified billing breakdown that they sent me, first of all, they had me listed saying that I took 14 classes. Now I know for a fact that I took 15. But when you scroll down, they have me charged for 15 classes. So I'm like, what is, like, that's already weird. Then one of the things that I pointed out to them anyways prior to them sending this breakdown, excuse me, was they charged me is for a resource kit. So every course you have to pay 150 for a resource kit. The very first resource kit that they charged me, they charged $300. So that means they double charged me for one resource kit. Now, that was on June the 5th of 2022. They did a credit of $150 on June the 3rd of 2022. And so the financial aid advisor, when I pointed that out to him, like that is like, okay, first of all, I see where I was charged $300 for one resource kit. It's not supposed to be $300. It's supposed to be $150. And so when he pointed out to me that they um basically credit me back the 150, my thing to him was, how could y'all credit me back for something y'all had yet to charge me for? If the charge was made on June the 5th, how did you give me $150 back when you had yet to make the charge? Because the 150 was credited on June the 3rd. How could you refund somebody something you had not even charged them for yet? So that was weird. I'm like, y'all billing system is just slack. But y'all just listen. So on the billing breakdown that they sent me, my total charge, give me 1 second. My total charge was $34,770.50. So I'm like, okay, if y'all are telling me that my total charge, y'all are showing me this is what y'all sent me. $34,770.50. My problem with that is, how did y'all get from $34,770.50 to $45,346? Not only that, if my total charges was $34,770.50, why in the world have I paid already $42,503? That means I have already overpaid $7,732.50. If that's the case, how in the world do I owe y'all $2,843? It sounds like to me y'all owe me. Not to mention the $15,000 scholarship. There was no evidence of me ever getting that $15,000 scholarship. That was a big, major factor in my enrollment process. Because when my enrollment specialist, when we were talking, the estimate he gave me was around $17,000. Now, that estimate had sounded too good to be true, but he sold it to me by saying, you have these transfer credits, you're already coming in with an associate's degree, we know the school you attended, we're familiar with that school, we know like the estimate of how much that you're usually able to transfer from that school. We know the amount of classes with this particular degree that you're going to be able to take with Sophia. He also said, with this $15,000 scholarship, this is going to significantly reduce your tuition costs. So I'm like, okay, this sounds great, wonderful. Like, okay, let's do this. Where did the $15,000 scholarship go that I had to sit there and fill out that form for? Where did that money go? When I tell y'all, I'm not playing with them. Like, y'all not understand how much stress I had to go through with this finishing this degree. I poured a lot of time, energy, sweat, and tears and stuff into this degree. Y'all not about to play with me. And then I was emailed saying that, you've successfully completed your degree. You have officially graduated. That is what it said. That same day, the financial aid team texted me saying that you have officially graduated, but you owe us $2,843 and you need to pay immediately or it's going to be sent to collection. Listen, I want y'all to be so mindful of this because it is a headache, because I understand that sometimes they try to overwhelm you so you just give up. And see, what'll happen is I'm kind of built for that kind of emotional exhaustion because I've dealt with it a lot in my life, and I know how to like regulate myself, and I know how to get overwhelmed and process through it and get right back up and let's keep on going. And so even though I was pretty fed up, like I had got really aggravated, I was questioning my mind, like, should I really go through with this? Like, I mean, I really don't feel like fighting with them. Like, I'm like, I don't want to go back and forth with Capella. I just finished my degree. I'm tired. Like, I don't feel like adding anything else on my plate. But then when I saw how many people had been dealing with things with Capella, because before I finished my degree, I was already getting prepared by doing my research. So I was looking at lawsuits that were previously against them, lawsuits that are, currently against them, that, they're still fighting right now. I was looking at complaints that people have right now. Like, what is it that people are saying? What's actually going on surrounding Capella right now? Like, I was looking at all that stuff because I like to put my pieces together. And that's exactly what I was doing. And I just want y'all to be mindful. I want y'all to be careful because I'm not willing to overlook it, because in my mind I'm thinking too, how many other people have they did this to? Like, how many people have they done this to, and these people just decided to pay because they didn't want to go back and forth with Capella. They didn't know where to start. How many people have dealt with this and just submitted to it? Like, their own billing ledger is so flawed. I don't Their accounting system just looks messy, and it looks like noisy. If you're not careful, it's going to overwhelm you and you're not going to want to deal with it. And so I would encourage you to break it down. Like, make your own chart instead of just looking exactly at what they're giving you. Like, make your own system so that you can make that make sense to you. And that's what I did. So y'all just be careful. I mean, make sure you're doing your research. If it's happening to you, don't let them get away with it. Also, I have a list of entities that I'm going to be emailing. I've already emailed a few. I'm emailing everybody on the list. Everybody on the list getting an email, because the people who have the authority to hold Capella accountable, I'm going to reach out to each and every one of them, because Capella needs to be held accountable.